Hello and welcome back everyone. Andy Bryan here again from the Soul Pathway, and today within this video I wanted to speak with you all about following your own path and calling, as well as connecting with the energies of the forests, because forests are quite amazing, and the energies at which trees give off are quite amazing too. They're very cleansing and releasing. And when you go out in nature, you allow yourself to release all those things that no longer serve you. But trees are remarkable to get guidance and wisdom. And when we connect with nature, and I spoke about this in a previous video, we can truly allow ourselves to heal as well at the same time, because it's all about healing, releasing and cleansing. But obviously today within this video I wanted to speak with you all about following your own path and calling. Because throughout our lives and as we grow up, what we tend to do is live by conditions and patterns that have been passed on to us by our parents and even by the society in which we live. We are told to live life a certain way and by a certain rules, and we come to realize when we're older that these rules only restrict us from connecting with our soul and living in alignment with what sets our soul on fire each and every day. You know, I spoke to a client the other week about living in either love or fear, and I believe when we are living in fear, we're often living through conditions or judgment of what other people think about us and how people think that we should live our lives. And from my perspective, we should live life on our own terms. It doesn't matter, you know, what other people think of us or the judgments they place upon us, because when we live in alignment with what is right and true for us, what we tend to do is find joy in every moment and find our bliss. I spoke with you about that in the last video as well. You know, Joseph Campbell spoke about following your bliss, and the universe will open doors for where there was only once walls. We have to take the road less travelled, and the road less travelled is often where there is no way and where there is no path. And what we have to do is what I'm doing here today as I'm walking in this video, is walk tentatively, be conscious in our actions, conscious in our movements, and be mindful of where we are moving forward within our lives. Often people come to me and they say, I need some guidance, I need some direction. And I often think, yeah, fantastic. I can give you clarity and direction in your life with my Soul Pathway Clarity calls or Soul Purpose calls, and help you bring out your soul purpose. But in many ways, this is what you have to find within yourself. You have to take time within yourself in order to connect with your soul and allow conscious thoughts and mindfulness to really decide where you want to move forward within your life. Because as you're conscious, you connect with nature, connect with yourself. What you allow yourself to do is gain guidance from that which comes from within and not outside of you. We're so busy with the everyday life that we don't allow ourselves to slow down, and when we slow down, we allow ourselves to connect. And connection is key. Connection is all about ourselves. Connection is truly beautiful. But as we walk in nature and we allow ourselves to connect, we can feel the energies of the forest. Sense the trees. They give off an incredible energy, as I've said, but you can feel that. Be conscious in your movements, and even tune in to the wisdom at which the trees are giving you. You can stop for a moment, allow yourself to connect, and even gain wisdom from the ancestors who lived here before and the way they lived their lives. Because I tend to believe nowadays that when we look at, the way people used to live their lives many years ago, or tribal cultures, or people that living in communities, if they have grown up in that place, they tend to know what it's like to live in alignment with their soul. So they're very much connected with themselves and connected with others. And I find in this modern world we find ourselves actually very much disconnected from ourselves and disconnected from the world at large, because we're taught to live in this so-called Western way, and this is the way that we live our lives. We've got to go to work every day, we've got to do a certain job, and if we're not doing a certain job, we are in some ways not truly living our lives or being of service to others. And I think the most important thing about being of service to others is truly allowing ourselves to be ourselves, not a clone or a duplicate of someone else, because that's the challenging thing is, as we grow up and we adopt beliefs and patterns of behavior from our parents and the society and culture at which we live, we tend to follow those rules for many years, and then when we get to the afternoon of our lives, like Wayne Dyer speaks about, that is when we come to realize our values have shifted, and we may come to even realize that the ladder that we've built is up against the wrong wall, and we don't want that. We don't want our ladder up against the wrong wall. We want to live in purpose each and every day, and this is where the soul pathway comes into play, to connect with your soul purpose, because I believe we all have a gift and we all have a message to give back to the world, and often this comes through the challenges and obstacles that we face each and every day, or that we have faced, because through those challenges and obstacles we start to connect with our purpose, connect with our gifts. And I'll share with you right now, actually, because you think about the start of your journey, your old self, where you're living by old conditions and patterns of behavior. This is where, as I mentioned, you're living by conditions from your parents and the society in which you live. So your mindset and the way that you live your life is very much rigid. You're not living in flow. You're not connected with yourself, nature, and those people that are around you on a day-to-day basis. I mean, you might think you are, but in many ways, once you awaken and connect with who you truly are, you start to realize the interconnectedness at a much deeper level. But as we awaken, what tends to happen, we go through this soul awakening experience that I speak about within my app, the Awaken Your Soul Pathway app, which is only available on Android phones, sadly. But within that app, people start to realize that there's an awakening we go through, and when we awaken, we start to realize that there's so much more to this beautiful and incredible world than we've been taught, or that people tell us. Some people maybe connect with a spiritual soulmate. Some people may have health crises, or some people may have different experiences where they've connected with a loved one that's passed on, or connected with spirit in a different way, and start to realize that they are speaking to them. But the next bit is really where following your own path and calling really does make a difference, because when we have that soul awakening, we then go through a place of self-inquiry, which is that refusal to call that Joseph Campbell speaks about. But I've shifted it within my soul pathway process, because I don't believe we have to go through this process of refusal anymore. I think if we slow down, we connect, and we inquire what is coming in from within us, then we can follow our own path and calling and what is coming from within our soul, rather than what is governed to us by society and the culture in which we live. right? So the place of self-inquiry is important. And there's an exercise that I often share with people about actually, writing down a list. When you write down a list, on one side you've got a list of the conditionings of the way that people have taught you to live your life, or those conditions and patterns of the ego that are coming through that are telling you to live life this way, and you know deep within yourself that it is out of alignment. But on one side you have those sets of beliefs and patterns. On the other side, what you tend to have is the voice inside of yourself that is coming from within your soul, telling you, no, this is the way that I want to live my life. This is who I am, and this is my soul expression. And when you have these two things on either side, you can then start to marry them up. What is in alignment, coming from the soul, and what is not in alignment with who I am, and from there things will begin to shift. And that's when you will create the shift in consciousness, shift in awareness, and begin to step into who you are. And I'm at a perfect place right now, because I'm standing right on a path now. I'm starting to connect with that path, and you can see the path behind me. So we start to walk our path, we start to connect with our calling, we start to find our bliss and find our gifts. As we go through that phase of the shift, what then tends to happen is we find our mentor, meet a mentor that can inspire us, help us move forward and connect with who we are, help us to really realize that there's much more to our lives, and show us that they don't, or we don't, or you don't need to live by these old conditions and patterns, and there's nothing to fear when you follow the road less traveled. Yes, it may be challenging. Yes, it may feel like you're walking on your own at times, but there will always be people on your path that can guide and support you, and that will be there with you on the way. And I'm going to speak with you about that in another video, about archetypes and the connections and people we meet in our journey, and how to notice the people that are in alignment with us and supporting us on our journey, and those which may not have the best intentions at heart and may actually lead us astray. It's essential to see those people. But once you follow your own path and calling, this is when you face the road of trials. But your road of trials is where you find your gifts, you find that at which you love, and this is where you give back to yourself. You start to set your soul alive. You start to connect with the beauty of all things. But for me, this is a phase of transcendence, because on our spiritual journey, we start to ascend our consciousness. We start to awaken our soul from within. And with each and every challenge and obstacle we face, whether they are good or quote unquote bad, I don't really like to use bad, because each and every experience is an opportunity for growth and change, which is beautiful. And as you go through this phase of transcendence, you start to learn what works and what doesn't work. You start to learn what is in alignment with your soul and that which isn't. And this is where you bring about this place of wholeness and unification, which is beautiful. You start to realize the light and the shadow are all one. The good and the bad are all aspects of this incredible and beautiful journey that which we go through. So finally then, the seventh and final phase of our spiritual journey and soul pathway is living by our higher self, where we have gone through many of our deep challenges and obstacles. We know there's going to be more. I'm not going to say there's not going to be more challenges and obstacles, but we're now living in alignment. We're conscious in our actions. We are aware of what it is that we're experiencing and what it is that we're going through. And we're following our own path and calling. And we are allowing our pathway to unfold before us. Regardless of where it may lead, we are having trust and faith in the journey itself. And that is a remarkable shift. We start to realize that we are always provided for each and every day, if only we allow ourselves to trust and go with the flow. But that is my message for you today. It's all about following your own path and calling, and knowing what's right and true for you, and connecting with the forest at the same time. So you speak about connecting with the forest. If you allow yourself to slow down and tune in, you can tune in to your surroundings. You can tune into the trees. Feel the vibration and energies of the trees. And what you can do is then slowly walk up to one of the trees. And as you walk up to one of the trees, you can invite to connect with the tree. And as you invite to connect with the tree, you can gain that inspiration and wisdom from what it might be, and even get that cleansing and energy from it at the same time. And I'm going to do that exercise one more time on this video, because it's a beautiful process. So what I will do is be back with you in a moment as I guide you through this process of connecting with nature, connecting with the trees and connecting with the forest. And I'll be right back. So when you find a tree at which you want to connect with, ask it if it's okay for you to connect with it in this moment. So tune into the tree. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and it will invite you to connect with it. And when you know the time is right and it's invited you in, slowly walk up to it with intention. Connect with it as you walk up to it. Look up to the top of the tree, down towards the base of the tree, and allow yourself to truly connect with it. And as you walk slowly up to it, allow yourself to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, place your hand on the tree. Feel into the tree. Feel the heartbeat of it as you connect with what comes through to you. You may even notice some guidance and wisdom that comes from it. The wisdom that's coming through for me right now is to be strong. Allow yourself to be rooted. And as you're rooted, you can stand in your strength and courage and not allow things to sway you. As you're grounded and rooted, you won't move, or you won't feel the need to adapt or change, but just be you. For me, that's what's coming through from this tree right now. But allow yourself and ask what guidance and wisdom is coming through the tree at which you're connecting with. Make sure you use your left hand if you can to connect with the tree, because that will connect straight to your heart. And as that connects straight to your heart, it will go straight then to Mother Earth. Feel it, connect with it, and gain the insights and wisdom from what the tree is bringing you. And that's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And when you have finished connecting with the tree, say thank you for giving me the guidance and wisdom today. And one thing that I would always suggest, and something that is always good, is to leave a blessing by the tree. So if you've got something that you can leave by the tree, just leave it there and say thank you for allowing me to connect with you today. And then slowly walk away and say thank you for your blessings and your wisdom. And then if you like, you can come back to the same tree again, connect with it, gain the guidance and wisdom from it, and even meditate with it, because you'll find that there's so much guidance and wisdom that you will get through meditation as well. So I do hope you found that exercise to be valuable and useful today, as you have connected with the energies of the forest, as well as gained insights and wisdom from the energies of the trees. because trees are often ancient. They've been around for centuries and even longer than that at times. So when we gain insights and wisdom, we actually gain ancient knowledge each and every time we allow ourselves to connect with them, which I think is absolutely beautiful. As I mentioned within that short exercise, I would advise even meditating with these trees at times, because when you meditate, you allow yourselves to explore your unconscious and connect with these trees at a much deeper level. Allow yourself to become silent, allow the wisdom to come through, and allow yourself to connect with whatever comes through for you, because this will be valuable knowledge and insights for you on your journey. So I hope you have also found this video to be valuable and useful today, as you follow your own path and calling. You walk the road less traveled, and you connect with what is right and true for you. I do hope you really connect with what is coming from within your soul, and you follow your true soul's calling, as this will bring you the greatest joy and bliss, as I've always mentioned. So if you would like any personal guidance support on your spiritual journey, as I mentioned before, please be sure to connect with my website, which is www.awakenyoursoulpathway.co.uk. And with that, I will say thank you all for listening, and I do look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Bye for now. If you would like any personal support on your spiritual journey or soul pathway, please be sure to visit my website, www.awakenyoursoulpathway.co.uk, where you can schedule your soul discovery session. And these sessions are designed as an introductory session where you can get to know me, I can get to know you, and you can really explore your soul as an individual as you awaken to who you are. So these are introductory sessions. They are priced at $22, and this is a non-refundable deposit to ensure that you are really interested in making those differences and changes in your life. So if you would like to schedule a session, please pop over to my website and schedule a session there and make a small payment. And with that, I will say thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best on your spiritual journey and soul pathway as you awaken to who you are. Thank you for listening, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.